Hello,
We're live, folks. Yeah.
live, and we're back for our Friday
Did,
afternoon episode.
does anyone else notice that music gets faster than slow, or is it just me? Or
I feel like it
am
gets
I?
faster.
It's like being on a really fast elevator,
Yeah,
and then it just slows down. It's like you've reached your floor. Get off. So
and we're done here.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Probably should get
welcome
on
to.
our video guy to actually make us a countdown video.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
Come on, Denzel.
yeah. Come on, Dens. I'm sorry, Dens. We all
But
know it's my fault. I got stuff I got to
yeah,
send him.
same. I don't want to make fun of Denzel anymore after this past week, but
Yeah,
we'll talk about that later.
yeah. So
So,
today we have a special
well,
guest. In my background is my lovely wife, who's currently trying to hide because
hello,
we have to
Katie.
share
How are you?
offices. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, Katie's trying to
I have
ignore
a
all of us. There she is. There, she's briefly said hey. And
hello. I have Naysayer. So. Naysayer's here. He hasn't said hello lately, so
oh my gosh.
there you go. You're over there.
Yeah.
All right.
So she,
Welcome
if
to
you
the
see,
show.
if you see her get up and walk out, she works from home now. I'm also, we are sharing offices. So this is what it has
Yeah.
to be sometimes.
Thank you, Katie, for putting up with our nonsense during your workday.
Yes, indeed.
We appreciate it.
So as we continue here, uh, the awesome Gary Hall gives us our rundowns. So, catching up. What did we watch last week? So,
Yeah.
Gary, what did you watch last week?
Okay. So I've been doing the Halloween viewings
Good.
that we talked about. Let's see. Nightmare Before Christmas. I watched it twice. Once with the daughter, Lainey, and once just kind of randomly by myself. And Hocus Pocus has been viewed a couple times. And yesterday, I'm trying to get through this without tearing up. I attempted to watch Beetlejuice. I have the Blu-ray. I do not own it digitally, and I put it in. It started playing on its own. You know, no menu, nothing. Just goes right into it, which I love. You know, and then I needed to do some things. I had to do some laundry, so I was like, I watched about 25 minutes of it, and I was like, I went to go pause it, and I realized I couldn't pause it because I couldn't find my Blu-ray remote.
Oh no.
And I was like, okay, I'll just turn it off, and it should pick right back up, and I'll find the remote later. Long story short, I went about my errands and chores and whatnot, turned it back on, and it came up to the menu, and I had no way to hit play on Beetlejuice. So I'm here to tell you all, I don't know where my Blu-ray remote is. I still haven't found it. If you know the whereabouts of my remote, please let me know. Those of you watching, Megan, if you have the remote, please give it back. And so I have a shelf full of Blu-rays that I cannot watch because I have 0% remote. So
You didn't leave in the youth room, did you? Did you bring it
no,
over for any reason? No. Okay.
no, I don't know where it is. Hope
Uh,
the dog didn't eat it.
I'm sure Carter has it somewhere hiding.
Probably. It's probably somewhere with his trains and all that. But so I
Yes.
watched Hocus Pocus, Nightmare Before Christmas, and half of 20 minutes of Beetlejuice. And yeah,
You're just
the
getting you're
rest.
just getting good, man. It was just getting good at that
I
point.
know, I know. So, how about you?
Yeah. So what I watched, I guess since the last time we were on here, is last weekend I was able to take my oldest, Selah, to go see Hocus Pocus in the movie theater.
That's cool.
And I was very excited because she got to have a movie theater experience with a classic movie. And that was the first time she saw Hocus Pocus. So she hadn't seen
That's
it
really
yet.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that was her first experience. So she had a lot of fun. And then let's see. Um, I've been catching up. Well, not catching up. I've been catching my wife back there up with Mandalorian because she needed more Baby Yoda in
Ooh,
her life before the
yeah.
second season starts. So
Next
we
week,
watched
right?
that. Yep. So we finished that
Nice.
last night, and then I took all three girls to see a movie called Over the Moon. Yeah, last
Oh,
night in theaters
nice.
as well, which was cool. And which reminds me that that's what I was talking earlier about probably having kid reviews because I've had kids who went to the theater and saw movies for the first time. So that was an
That's
idea
cool.
Gary and I had talked about doing
Yes.
kid reviews, and
Hmm.
that'll probably be coming soon this weekend at some point. It'll be coming.
Awesome. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to hear their thoughts on the theater experience. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
don't
really
oh
cool.
don't you know I'm going to be like, what's better, theater or at home? Because I know what the answer is going to
Oh
be.
yeah. Yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah.
So Yeah. So you just can't beat that experience, you know.
Mm-mm.
It's just, and that's something we're gonna keep saying on this show. Our home theater, our home setups are great, but you can't beat going to the theater,
No,
you know.
you can't. You can't
So
have that biggest screen. You can't have, I mean, I guess some people could have that good a sound system, but good luck spending the money for that. And you'll never get the crowd experiencing
yeah,
together feeling. You won't get that either.
no, no, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of crowds at the movies, that's something we'll touch on later
Yes,
in
yes,
today's
it is.
episode.
So, oh, and I did watch Beetlejuice
Mm.
one night this past week. That was the other thing. I did watch the whole thing. So,
Yeah,
just saying.
congratulations on your success.
Yes. And good news, as I was watching it, the wife, again, right there. Look at that beautiful face. I will keep bringing you up. This is what's going to be, Katie, if you're going to be in here during these live shows. Anyway.
She looks like our producer in the back. You know, like you
right?
watch a radio show, they have the producer in the back.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
That's exactly what's going on, right? It's
Yeah.
just, but I was watching Beetlejuice. She comes down about, I don't know, maybe about like that 20 minutes in point. She
Mhm.
comes down and then and she's like, "Oh, I love this movie. I'm so obsessed with it. I used to watch it all the time." I was like, "Really?
Oh, really?
I
Oh,
had
wow.
no idea." She's like, "I watched it all the time as a kid." So I was
Wow.
very, very pleased that, and she was, slightly perturbed. I didn't tell her I was watching it, but I thought she wouldn't like it because it's normally not a movie that she would like. But
Well, there you
she
go.
surprised me, so I was very
Yeah.
happy.
I had the exact opposite response.
Oh no.
My wife hates Beetlejuice, hates all that stuff. And
That was enough for
Katie's
her.
leaving. She's gonna go across town and fight Megan now.
I know, right?
What do you mean you hate Beetlejuice? Yeah, she said it was the other night. It was Wednesday night, and we got back from youth group, and I said, "Hey, you mind if I put on Beetlejuice?" She goes, "Yes, actually, I do." I was like,
That's a shame.
"All right, fine." So instead of having an argument, we watched a show together. But yeah, she does not like the Tim Burton-ness of it all, and whatever, not her thing.
That's what makes it great.
I know,
Beetlejuice wouldn't be Beetlejuice if it wasn't for Tim Burton.
I know, right? She
It
doesn't
just
like
wouldn't
it.
happen.
So I've learned to accept her and all her wrong ways.
Being a loving husband, right?
I'm trying. Love you, Megan.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, look, there's Nala. Hope you'll see her
Nala.
soon in a kid review.
Kid reviews.
Yeah,
Nice.
kid reviews. All right. So
How I do have to ask. Sorry, I
Yeah.
know we got to get moving on. But how was Beetlejuice in the 4K-ness?
it was great.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. It did, because the movie's obviously that much older, it did make it like the claymation and some of the bad special effects a little bit more obvious, but at least it looked good. If that, like,
Yeah.
the clarity and stuff looked good. It looked like you were actually on set,
That's cool.
like seeing it. So that was
really
pretty cool.
Yeah. The even though I own the Blu-ray, I do want to add the 4K book to it.
As you should.
I was watching the beginning, and I was like, you know how the beginning they're going through the town and stuff. I was like, I wonder how many people when it first came out were like, "Oh, that's clearly fake. It's clearly fake," and then to pan out and it actually be the model,
I know.
and make them feel really stupid. You know?
Yes.
But
I bet you Tim Burton did that on purpose.
oh yeah, he did.
He did that so he can just be like,
yeah.
yeah, it is fake, actually. Dink
Yeah,
nuts. Like,
it is fake. Yeah, but
Yeah.
hopefully I find my remote and I can finish it tonight because it was
Good.
just getting good. You know,
yes.
Michael Keaton was showing up.
Yes. Good.
Well, we got some news today, folks.
Yes, we do.
And I just want to say, for the first time, I think we got a rundown of some pretty good news.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't a downer today like last week and the week before where we're
Well,
talking
one
about.
might kind of be a downer, but still, like, but it's in the
Yes.
context of goodness. So that's
Yes,
a good thing.
there you go. I like the way you put that. Context of goodness. There's the quote of the day, folks. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So, the first bit of news that we have coming up, that I don't know how excited this makes you, but for me, it was very, very exciting that this man right here, Michael B. Jordan, has been confirmed to be producing a Static Shock movie. And this excites me because I absolutely loved this cartoon as a kid. I watched it, religiously every single day. I just thought the cartoon, the animated series was just absolutely fantastic. And then when he shows up as older Static Shock in some of the Justice League cartoons and stuff like that, I was just like, man, this is so awesome. And this superhero is just absolutely fantastic. And I just really, really, really loved this character. And then and I was always like, why isn't this like a superhero movie like DC? Like I get Batman or Superman and all that, but dude, you got to bring Static Shock in because there's a whole generation who absolutely loves this TV series and love this hero. And so then they hear like Michael B. Jordan's attached to it. Now there's always been rumors that Michael B. Jordan wants to play Static Shock, but who knows? Since he's producing, maybe he'll jump in that mode. But it just kind of depends on where they take the story. If they're going to do an older Static Shock, or if they're going to do like the animated series where he's like still in like middle school or high school or something. I can't remember exactly where he starts, and then they'll have to find someone to do that. But either way, I was very excited to hear that this is actually happening, and I was like, "Good call, DC. Good call."
Yeah. Okay. So, complete honesty. We made a pact to be honest on this show.
Yes, we did.
When you text me this, I had to look up who Static Shock was. I'd never heard of him.
Oh man,
I might catch some heat for that. Well deserved, especially since he said he was part of the Justice League. But I'll say this: I'm down for whatever Michael B. Jordan's doing, and I did look up the character and read about it, and I was like, all right, I got excited, even though I didn't know anything about the character. You could tell me Michael B. Jordan's playing Liberace in a movie, and I'll be like, I'll go see that. You know, right. The guy's amazing. So I've wanted to see him in more superhero comic book roles, and this looks really cool.
Yeah.
So,
this was very cool. My boy Nick Ellis says yes. Yeah. See another one. Great animated series. See, I'm telling you, there is an audience for this. You know, animation. Animation was great. It was on par. It was still back when they cared about animation. Again, it was on par with Justice League, Batman animated series, all that stuff. So animation and everything was great on it. The story was great on it. I mean, yes, it was kind of like that kid finds himself with powers. But here's what I liked about it is that, because like Spider-Man and others, when they get powers, like Hulk as well, they'll kind of be like, oh, I have these powers, I need to hide it, or what am I going to do? And it's more sappy. No, Static Shock's like, yo, I got these powers. He immediately tells his best friends, and he's excited, and he's like trying to like do it all. Yes, he has his secret identity that he tries to hide and stuff like that, but he was never like super. He had his ups and downs, but he's never like super sappy, like, oh man, I got these powers. And like,
what do I do?
Yeah, it was just like, to me, it was a lot more real. Like, if I got powers, I'm like, yo, first thing I'm doing, I'm going to tell my friends, hey, yo, check this out. Like,
I know, right? You better. Yeah, I want to know if you have powers. Likewise.
So,
so this looks really cool. And, I'm all for an actor like Michael B. Jordan getting to do something he's passionate about. That makes it even better. So Heck, and I look forward to learning more about the character. I apologize to our audience and Nicholas, who seems to be a big fan. I apologize.
Yes, as you should. The fact that you missed out on this series is a travesty.
Yeah,
now, this tells me we'll switch this. We'll make this a good thing. This tells me I'm gonna have to go find the entire series on Blu-ray so we can watch it. I have a new goal.
Yep, let's do it.
So yes. And then when you see him as older, like grown-up Static, oh man, it's so good. But cool. But yeah, good stuff. Very, very exciting for us. And as you saw, Nicholas, and I know there's more because there's plenty of people who really, really enjoyed this movie. So,
cool.
Yeah. So going on to the other one, which also just brings even more excitement to me. But so sorry, Gary, we got this back-to-back of effort and excitement. But boom. So granted, this is from the video game. All right. I just had to get a cool looking Miles Morales. But there have been rumors that Miles Morales will be showing up in Spider-Man 3, the live action one. And these rumors are coming out, which again has been coming out with what we talked about last week with about Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and then no longer rumors but confirmed of Jamie Foxx and Electro, and Sony trying to like kind of sidestep well, it's
good job, Sony.
I know. Like they didn't say no, it's not happening. They just said, well, nothing's been confirmed on our end. So it's just kind of like, okay, Sony, like, are you trying to pull Russo brothers and be like, no, Endgame doesn't have time travel? No. Oh no, the name's not Endgame. Endgame, like it's just so
time travel.
But so the rumors of that is to me makes sense that this rumor comes out. And again, it's still rumor. All right, it's still rumor. There's the supposed leaked audition of Miles Morales. But here's the thing about leaked auditions for me, Gary, is that you can have a leaked audition. They could have auditioned people for this role. Doesn't mean they're putting this role into the script. They could be
No.
playing for something in the future. They could be playing just for a cameo, just to get the
No.
person on camera, like in Homecoming, for instance. Miles Morales' uncle, who Donald Glover played, who ends up being the Prowler. That's what that character is. He just showed up for a little bit, but he wasn't the Prowler. So it could be
Okay.
something along those lines as well. We may not ever see him as Miles Morales. It could just be something that's there, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But we'll see. So, and I think Nick was talking about Static Shock. Perfect timing for that to come out. And then now Nick is also saying it will happen. Like Miles Morales, like it'll happen.
Bring on the Spider-Verse, okay? And I know nothing's been confirmed yet, as they said, but at this point, excuse me, I had a lot of chicken wings for lunch. At this point, if we don't get this, it's gonna be just like insane disappointment,
Yeah.
And I'm not saying exactly, but it's clear that something's happening with this character, with this universe, with this Spider-Verse, and bring it on. I want to see it.
Yeah, I want to see it too. Like, I know some people have been saying, I've been reading online, they're like, can't we just finish off this story with Tom Holland first before we start getting into all this? But I'm like, but if you look at the MCU landscape, like it kind of makes sense for this to do it now. I mean, look how the second one ended.
Yeah.
And now he's like kind of on the run. You have this, you have out there that Electro's going to be in there. You have about Craven being there. You have, you have all the rumors about like Tobey Maguire and stuff. And then, but you also, like I said last week, you have Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. You have WandaVision, which is multiverse stuff. Like
Might as
obviously,
well.
yeah. By the time this comes out, the multiverse is. I mean, we already got introduced to the multiverse through Endgame and through the first Doctor Strange, anyways.
And then you see what DC's doing with they're preparing for Flashpoint and all that. Yeah, why not? Bring it on. And are we supposed to see all this universe stuff going on and then just hang out with Tom Holland and Queens for a whole nother movie? I mean, we're beyond that. It's time for something like this.
Agreed. And that's exactly where I am. Because the second one, I think we talked about this before. I liked it. I didn't love it, but it was just like, okay, this is more of the same. It's time for something different. And to have him to jump around. Listen, the different animated series from the classic, well, not classic from the 70s, classic for me, like in the 80s, early 90s, Spider-Man did it well. And some of the newer stuff did the Spider-Verse and stuff, did it well. And let's just point out, Into the Spider-Verse, the movie, no introduction, no nothing, just threw us into the Spider-Verse and did phenomenally well. Great with the story. It can be done. It's already been proven it can be done. Not just do it live action, and it'll be great.
That movie, and you're obviously more versed in this character than I am. That movie made me like really kind. I knew a little bit about him, but it truly introduced me to this character, Miles Morales, and I was just like, I kind of fell in love with the character. I was like, this is really cool. And my son's actually going to be him for Halloween this year,
Which is fantastic.
Very proud of him.
Yeah, and I love it. And as Nick says, Miles is one of the new diverse young heroes in Marvel Universe. They need to keep these stories going. And absolutely, they do need to keep these stories going. These are great stories to have. And it's like me, like the whole reason why I got introduced to Miles Morales is because my sister actually was like, hey, look, Marvel just came out with a Puerto Rican Spider-Man. And I was like, wait, what? And then I go in and, and like his dad's black, his mom's Puerto Rican, and stuff like that. But it's just cool to see that. And it's just like, and it's not like, and here's what I've always liked about Miles Morales, and I think you can agree with this, Gary, is yes, he's diverse, like he's like a diverse character and stuff, but they don't shove it down your throat. He like the storylines have always been about him being Miles and learning how to be the new Spider-Man, and his heritage, his race diversity and all that was just integrated in as just showing you who the character is. Which when it's like that, that's what also makes it so great, and that's why I think Miles Morales has such a huge following.
Yeah. It's not the other way around where it's like, here's all this, here's my race, here's my heritage. Oh, and here's the character, it's kind of, I like that.
Yeah. And that's what I like a lot. And then, of course, this character is just awesome. I mean, come on, he's getting again, this is a screenshot from the new video game that's about to come out. Like, he's getting his own video game. Like, people really like this character. I think if you're doing Spider-Verse, like multiverse stuff, live action, and you don't have Miles Morales, I think that is a huge swing and a miss to get baseball there.
And there's no reason not to,
No.
So
No reason at all. If you're gonna do this, even if it's just like a little cameo, like he just pops into Miles's universe just
Mm-hmm.
to have that open, and he's in there for like 10, 15 minutes of screen time, and he works with him a little bit, and then he pops to another universe. Like now you've introduced a character, and you don't necessarily have to do this whole backstory thing. Like it's
Yeah.
just story wise, they could just go a lot of places with it and be a
Mm-hmm.
lot smarter about it, honestly.
It, it makes sense.
Yep, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So that is our take on that, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, and now our next bit of also good news that this
Mm-hmm.
came out, I think yesterday. I think it was yesterday. I don't know. But anyways, hey Gary, who are those
It's
people?
morphin time. That's the Power Rangers, sir.
Oh
The front two
man,
there, red and green. That's who I wanted to be. Mostly the green one,
yeah.
but that's the Power Rangers I grew up with right there.
Oh yeah.
Classic.
Had to get
It's
the
morphin time.
proper had to get the proper
Yeah.
graphic. That was me, man. I
Yeah.
was all about that Red Ranger.
Yeah.
I had the Red Ranger gloves, the toys,
Yeah.
everything, man. I was all about that Red Ranger.
Yeah. I went back and forth, but I don't want to get on. Too. I know we got time, but when Tommy turned into the White Ranger,
Mm-hmm.
that my whole world stopped. That episode when he came back as the White Ranger, it was just. It was. I remember it came on special at night, and nothing else existed but that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah.
here's what's going on with the Power Rangers. They are getting a reboot because the first movie financially and critically and all that didn't do well.
I think I was the only one that
Or
liked it.
yeah. I thought it was just very okay, I guess. It was
Yeah.
just for me. Like I didn't think it was that
Hmm.
great. Let's put it this way. They got the angst teen thing down very well in that movie. but
They did. They did.
but
Yeah.
other than that, it was kind of
Yeah.
it was like okay, it's fine.
Hmm.
But I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was as terrible as most people thought. I just thought it was a very okay movie. But
Yeah.
but they're getting a reboot, but they're also getting a new TV series. And and the rumors is that the movie and the TV series will be part of a shared universe, and they're trying to open it up to where what you see on TV is also what's happening in the movies. It's almost kind of like what the MCU is doing with Disney Plus, is what
Yeah.
it sounds like.
Hmm.
Having some stuff go to Disney Plus, and like what they try to do with Agents of Shield. Like here's just stuff going on. It's all in the same universe, kind of thing. Here's all I
Yeah.
got to say about it. I absolutely love the Power Rangers. I
Hmm.
don't care. Like the other movie came out, I was there. Next movie comes
Yep.
out, I'm there. TV series, I'm there. I love the
Hmm.
Power Rangers. I am there.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Did you see the original movie in the theater with
Yes, I
Ivan
did.
Ooze? Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Me too. Me too. It's great.
And then I bought it on VHS, of course, because I needed to
Same.
watch it again and again. And then
Yep.
I watched it on Netflix because I had to take a
Is it
trip
on
down memory
Netflix?
lane. It
Wow. I
was
haven't
like
watched it in so long.
it was a couple
Yeah.
years ago. I don't know if it still
Yeah.
is.
I just remember my grandparents bought all of us Power Ranger action figures, and my older brother got the red one. My younger brother Scott got the black one, and you would think I would have got the green one. I got the blue one, and I was so mad. Nothing against that guy. I played the blue one, but the blue one.
The blue one's a nerd. No one wanted
I
to be
wanted the
nerd.
green one. So to this day, the Green Ranger action figure eludes me. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think it's gonna be great. Introduce these characters to a new generation. Love to show my kids. I'm sure Carter would love it, and
Oh yeah.
your girls and Lainey as well. And I love the idea of movie and TV. Cool. You know. So who owns Power Rangers? I know Saban or whatever.
Yeah,
Is it
Saban.
Fox or okay?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
I
know
didn't
who
know.
owns Saban,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Saban.
Okay.
I think Hasbro is. I think it's isn't it Hasbro and
That
Saban? I
okay.
think
Yeah,
that's
that
what
makes
it might
sense.
be.
Yeah. That explains all the toys. So yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
So
it's
here,
cool.
here
It's
you go.
exciting.
Yeah, here Nick. He bought the Power Ranger movie on VHS and watched it every day.
Mm.
Another man knowing the wonders of VHS,
Mm-hmm.
and I agree. It does have the potential to be so good. They just got to do it right. Like,
Yes.
like
And
they
I think what it is like you got to keep it simple. I think what happened, they try to do way too much, get too technical, and these are teenagers who discover different things, and they have they have martial arts, and they get taught how to do things, and that concept right there is interesting. Don't mull it down with all this crazy stuff,
Yes.
which I did think the movie did.
Yeah. Yeah,
The
and
last
that's
one
the
came
thing. It's
out.
like don't forget this was originally an old Japanese series
Mm-hmm.
that that with the show we watched, all the
Mm-hmm.
fighting and stuff, they just ripped that from the Japanese series,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
then they just filmed the stuff with the actual characters later, and then
Yeah.
they just mashed the two together. So
Yeah.
like there is a very simple concept
Mm-hmm.
to this whole
Oh
Power
yeah.
Ranger thing. Like I
Yeah.
think with the latest movie, they just tried so hard to make it a coming of
Mm-hmm.
age, like in like very deep kind of movie, and it's
Yeah.
like, dude, it's the Power Rangers. Like it's
Every
not deep
you
at
said
all.
it. Every character had a really tough decision to make in their life. It's
Yeah,
like just be a Power Ranger and enjoy it, you know.
I know. I
So.
know. It's like understand this guy named Zordon, this alien guy, he had a
Mm-hmm.
robot named Alpha. They
Mm-hmm.
Rita escapes. He finds 5 teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
Go be heroes. Like there you go.
Yeah. Go be heroes.
That
Yeah.
all magically know martial arts. So like,
Mm-hmm.
like just like what's so hard about that?
Yeah. Oh man.
So
Yeah.
here we go. We got Chris. The blue one is the bomb. Take that, Gary.
Okay. All right. Cool. I guess.
Yeah.
Thanks for trying to make me feel better, but no.
I mean, in the blue one's defense, if it wasn't for him,
He
they
was.
wouldn't have a lot of cool gadgets that they had.
That's true. He was still a Power Ranger. Still a Power Ranger.
Yeah.
But come
He
on.
had that one episode that he was just afraid. I forgot what he was afraid of, but he was just this big chicken the entire
Yeah.
episode, and the monster was like his greatest fear.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it
Do
was. I just remember
that.
that's what it was. I remember
Yeah.
that. I remember thinking like,
Yeah.
gosh, this guy's
Yeah.
lame. Like I was
Yeah.
like, what is this?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So
Yeah.
I spent many a times at the cafeteria table first in kindergarten arguing over who was going to be the red one, the black one, or the green one. You know,
Mm-hmm.
no one argued over being the blue one.
Nope.
So,
No one ever wanted to be
Sorry.
the blue one.
and all the
No
girls
one
wanted to
did.
be the pink one. So
Yes. All the girls wanted to be pink. That's so true. All the girls wanted to be the pink. No girl wanted to be the yellow Power Ranger. And
No.
then no guy.
Well, it's-
and the guys didn't care who they were as long as it wasn't blue. That's
yeah,
all they
it's
wanted.
because the yellow one and the blue one, they were just kind of random. You know,
Yeah.
they were just random. But loved Power Rangers growing up, and I hope they do this right, like Nick said. You know,
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
So.
It will be cool. So going on to
Go
the
Power Rangers.
yes, and I can't wait. I can't wait to hear more. As
Yeah.
we hear more, you will hear more, because honestly, that's also exciting. See, it's been a very positive and a fun.
Yeah,
one. So this has been
been
great.
nice. It's been nice.
But this one is again maybe not so great news, but at least it's in the context of great news.
Context of context of
Of
great
goodness.
news.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Context of goodness. So so here it is. We're just gonna throw it up here.
Oh, that.
Yeah, and I was going to look for a better picture that size better, as a little bit bigger for our picture here. But Gary said the smaller the better. So so you kind of know where Gary stands here. But but there we go. We all know who that is.
Yeah.
That is the Joker.
That's
Jared Leto's
Jared
version of the
Leto
Joker.
as the Joker.
So Gary,
Metal teeth and all.
you always allow me to go off in my field of expertise, like Spider-Man
Okay.
and stuff and static.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to let you go off here.
Okay. All right, here we go. Here's the news. It has been confirmed that Jared Leto will be reprising his role as the Joker for the Snyder Cut Justice League miniseries. That's what they're calling it now officially, miniseries, which is fine. I am not a big Jared Leto fan. And I felt that way before I saw him as the Joker. And I think he's a fine actor, but I think he's a bit overrated. I'm just not. I think, let's be honest, he's weird to me. He's just a weirdo. And I was not a fan of his role. I was not a fan of his take on the Joker. However, I'm going to come away from this news yesterday. I'm a little bit optimistic about this because a few things this tells me is, okay, first off, as I'm not a fan of his, I do feel a little bit bad for Jared Leto. Okay, they make the Suicide Squad movie. Okay, and then the studio reportedly cut a ton of his scenes out.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of his stuff was taken out of the movie. So I felt, not cool. He was, obviously upset about that. And then oh dang, I'm the only one here at the office. Someone just rang the doorbell. I got to run up there.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
All right.
Take over for a second.
Yeah, I got it. So I will So I will try to continue here. And as I realize that I kind of messed up our pictures and stuff, so my bad. But I will continue here and on this idea of Jared Leto, and just talk about how like I just no like I'm with Gary that I am just not a fan of Jared Leto Joker, and so when I first heard this, I was just kind of like, I don't know if how I feel about this. Now, granted, it's part of the Justice League, which here's the thing: it kind of makes sense to me because in the Suicide Squad trailer, you have Batfleck, who Batfleck
Back.
he is back. Batfleck, Gary. This is what I'm trying to say is where I can kind of
Hmm.
understand him being in the movie. Is
Hmm.
Batfleck was in the Suicide Squad,
Yes.
briefly, and so at least it kind of makes sense to me that his Joker
Hmm.
would be back in this movie, because his Joker is the Joker of this universe, um,
Yes,
and so so it makes sense. And so
it
that's
does.
why for me, I'm like, okay, in the context of the Snyder Cut, which is very exciting news, like we've talked about
Hmm.
before, in the context of some kind of continuity of having that continuity of, we've already said this Joker exists in this version, of DC. Well, then at
Hmm.
that point, I'm like, okay, that like it makes sense. Like I get it.
Yeah.
And so I can understand it. And I just hope that whatever Zack Snyder does, whatever his plans are, does a little better, maybe shows a little better what Jared Leto can do. Because
Yes.
I think that's I think we got to have some grace with him, and I think this is where you're going with it. We got to
Hmm.
have some grace on Jared Leto because it's not his fault what we got. And please continue, Gary, where you were.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. They cut more than half his scenes in Suicide Squad. Then they go and make this Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like you kind of feel bad for the guy. So it makes sense he's going to be in this movie. He in this universe, like him or not, this is the Joker we have. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so it just is what it is. So my hopefulness of it is with Snyder's direction
Mm-hmm.
that he would maybe not necessarily change him, but just maybe tone him down a bit, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because it's going to be completely new. This is like they're shooting new stuff for him because he did nothing in the original
Right.
Justice League. So that's got me interested to see. And there's been some time, he saw people's reactions, and maybe
Mm-hmm.
they'll tweak it a little bit, because I thought he was just way too over the top as
Yeah.
this role. And yes, it is
Yeah.
an over the top character, but it was just like very on the nose, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
What we got. So I don't think this is bad news. I think it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's
And,
right. It makes sense, even though I didn't really care for his version of the Joker. But like
mhm.
you said, there's just so much stuff behind the scenes that just made it to
Mhm.
where, like, was this really Jared Leto's fault? I mean, how many? I mean, I haven't seen Jared Leto in a lot of stuff, but like, how many great actors do we know that were in absolutely terrible movies and their characters were absolutely terrible?
Yeah,
I mean, it happens. I mean, you have a script, you have a director. There's other things that make certain characters, certain actors not do things that are actually good.
yeah,
Um, and so you can't, to me, you can't throw it all on the actor. Although I do understand people who just kind of like, I just can't anymore because to me he ruined one of my favorite characters.
mhm.
So like I get that, but he's getting like for instance like for me like George Clooney,
Yeah,
I refuse to watch anything with him in it because he ruined the Batman. Like that's
yeah,
just me. Again, same thing. Not necessarily his fault. I mean, the guy's a
hmm,
great actor and stuff like that.
hmm,
No, a good actor, I guess. Reasons for that
yeah,
another day. But
yeah,
it's just kind of like you just ruined it so much. But the difference here
hmm,
is now they're giving Jared Leto a chance to redeem himself,
yeah,
and
yeah,
so it's kind of like, all right, let's see what you do. This is round two.
yep.
Let's see what you do.
And the good news about this is this continues to confirm that this Snyder cut is going to be something completely different.
Hmm.
Is going to be upward to 4 hours. They're bringing in Jared Leto. They're doing all kinds of reshoots.
Yeah.
I read yesterday an executive from Warner Brothers said they're spending upward to $70 million on this,
Hmm.
and they're going all in on this. So that is good news for us. And I'm hoping I have a theory that maybe what he's going to be doing is we saw in Dawn of Justice the
Hmm.
Robin suit, which looked like I'm thinking maybe Jason Todd.
Yeah.
Maybe what he's doing is a flashback to that, to tie
Yeah.
in with what Affleck's Batman's doing. So
Yeah.
so we'll see,
Which would make
but
sense because even in Suicide Squad, it was a flashback. We don't know
yep.
how far, but it was still a
Hmm.
flashback. So they had that past history there. And I mean,
Oh
I
yeah.
think if they did something like that, that would be really cool. And but here's the one thing that I think is a little crazy is we like the whole Snyder Cut thing and all that. I know we're kind of getting on Snyder Cut stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but because of the reshoots that we've heard about, the 70 million, now Jared Leto, and like this is new stuff. It's like, wait a second. Like we were always saying like it was already made. You just had special effects. That's all it was.
Yeah.
It was just special effects.
Yeah.
Now, like, so either one or two things. Either Warner Brothers has so much faith because the fan base is so excited for it that they said, you know what? Go ahead and do the full story you want. We'll make this into a mini series, 4+ hours. Do the whole story the way you wanted to do it.
Yep.
And if that's what Warner Brothers is doing, good on them. Good on the studio
Yes.
for listening to fans and trying to give fans what they want. And that
Yep.
excites me.
Me too. Me too. I can't wait for this. I mean, I've talked about it ad nauseum on this show. I already subscribed to HBO Max. You know,
Yeah.
this and this was a big reason why. I'm ready to go. So,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Understandable. So wrapping things up, we made this promise
Yep.
last week that we were going to
We
do
did.
this.
Yeah.
And here we go. We're just ripping off, a show that we probably shouldn't have watched, but that's okay. Like shouldn't have watched back in the day. We don't watch anymore. But like,
Yeah. It grinds my gears.
yeah, really grinds our gears. Movie theater edition, and this is pretty much everything you shouldn't do in a movie theater.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm going to try not to be old man, get off my lawn, angry Gary about this. I just
But
want to.
Clint Eastwood is that? Why not?
All right. All right. So, do you just want me to go into it?
Go into it. You got
Okay.
it first. Here you go.
First off, you go in the movie theater. Do your best to be on time. You got time.
Yes.
There's a lot of previews. I get it. There's no reason why. If you can't be in your seat with your snacks or whatever within after 5 minutes opening credits, you don't have time to go to the movies that day. Okay? I get it. Things happen, but try to be punctual. I hate when someone walks in the middle of a scene and you're just like, because they can never find their seat. They're meeting someone, they go, hey, Rodney, where are you? You know what I mean? That grinds my gears. Second,
Especially because you have 30 minutes of previews, people.
exactly.
You
30
can
minutes
make
of
it by the time the
previews.
movie starts.
Yes, if you can't, and that's my point. If you can't, my second thing is do not conversate in the movie theater. I'm not saying don't talk, because sometimes during a movie, especially if it's an exciting, epic movie, there's times to talk. Oh, you see that, and there's applause. Like when we went and saw Endgame,
Laughter, cheers.
laughter. And the if you're at a Christopher Nolan movie, what do you say? That's acceptable. My issue is when people have conversations with each other in the theater while the movie's going on. I'm kind of okay with it during the previews, but once that movie starts, you got to be quiet. The conversation needs to be limited. Third, I turn my phone off when I get to the movies. All right.
Here we go.
Yes, I'll sit in my
Preach.
chair and scroll and all that. My wife knows when I'm going to the movies, during the runtime of the movie, my phone's going to be off. Okay. I realize some people may not be able to do that. Okay. I'm not going to get in everybody's business. If you got to have your phone on you, maybe you're a paramedic or a firefighter or something. You got a sick person at home that you got to keep an eye on, whatever. If you need to use your phone, two things. Either go out into the lobby to have that conversation, or turn your screen light down.
To the very bottom. You'll still be able to
Very
see.
bottom. Yes. And the little, you just pull out your pocket and just, okay, that's another one. Let's see, what else is, if you have loud food, where rappers are loud or is crunchy or whatever, choose your time wisely. When we're trying to hear some dialogue, I don't want to hear you open up your gobstoppers or whatever you call it.
Yes.
I'm trying to hear what Bane is doing to Gotham City, and you're trying to open up your gummy bears for 30 minutes.
And it's already hard enough as it is, mind you.
Yes.
We gotta give it up to the people. Come on.
It's like, are you using a bulldozer back there? Or are you eating candy? What is going on? Like I said, it's not strict stuff, but just remember, you're in public. People paid some big dollars. If you're like me, it's rare. It's a treat to go to the movies. We don't want to be bothered by your nonsense. Have some manners. That's pretty much it. you know.
Yeah.
And this is all coming from, I've had run-ins with all these situations, you know,
Hmm.
and they're not
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. And I know for me, like, some of that's kind of the same. Like, I'm with you, man. Like, dude, you got 30 minutes of previews. If you can't make it by then, and here's the thing that kills me. All right, here's the thing, and this kind of goes in. But here's the thing that kills me: people that go in, they try to find their seat. What's the first thing they do? They turn their flashlight on their phone, and then they're
Yes.
just, oh, excuse me, oh, excuse me.
Yep.
And thing is, and they're always the people that never try to whisper or
Yep.
nothing. You know, now granted, there are lights on the floor so you can see
Yes.
where you're walking, so you can see. But no, let's turn the flashlight on. Oh, I'm right over here. Hey, Ethel, why don't you calm down? You know, it's just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's like, what do
No.
you need? I got you. Like, that's what I want to do sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, no. Or like when someone, because here's the thing, I'm gonna harp on this one because it bugs me.
Yeah.
But
Do it.
someone drops something, turn that flashlight on in the middle of the theater. No. Okay, so you're getting it. Number one, don't turn your flashlight on during the movie. Like on your phone. Please.
You can wait to the end.
It can wait to the end. You may think it's no big deal, but guess what? It does wash out the bottom part of the screen a little bit, that little light on your phone.
Oh yeah.
And then
Yeah.
it just looks weird. It's not cool.
The only acceptable thing is like if you drop your pacemaker or something, you know, which you probably shouldn't be at the movie theater anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just it can wait. You
Yes.
know, it can
Yes.
wait.
It can wait. It can wait. And listen, if you drop your phone, oh well. Like, don't use your friend's phone to go down there. And oh man. And then the other one for me is right along the same lines. Is they grab their phone and then they have the brightness all the way up. They're texting and then telling whoever they're with, oh look what they don't. And they start having the conversation. And listen, I understand. You might want to say something. What if you have to have a quick little conversation? At least whisper.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
going. Hey, how did you? No, that's not whispering.
Yeah.
Having
Yeah.
a normal.
Hey, what do you want to do
conversation.
after this? What do you want to eat at? What do you do?
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Speaking of which,
just-
look at this. People peeking in the theater to see the ending of another movie. How dare you?
Yes, I know.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Hi, boo.
Hey, hey.
Um,
Yeah.
So like
it's,
that
it's
one,
etiquette.
yeah, and that one. Those two kill me. And then like it's just like, come on, people, like just don't have the loud conversation.
Yeah.
Like just
Have
if you
you-
have a conversation, step out. Like it's
Yeah.
not that hard.
I remember years ago, it was The Dark Knight Rises. Granted, it was my second time seeing it. I was with a couple friends, and there was these guys sitting directly behind us, and they would not stop talking. They talked
Yeah.
the first 15 minutes of the movie, and you gotta hear that movie's very dialogue driven, believe it or not.
Yes.
And I don't care if I'm watching Encino Man, the masterpiece that is. I want to hear the movie. And you know how you have those moments when you're in public and you know you got to do something? You know, just as a man, you have to defend the people that are around you.
Yes. Someone's got to be
did
the
it.
leader.
Yes, it was me that day. I turned around and I said, "Excuse me, can y'all please be quiet? No one paid to hear you guys talk.
Oh,
Please be
yeah.
quiet." And I turned around. And then as I turn around, you know those moments your blood starts to boil, you start getting ready,
Yeah.
I'm sitting there thinking, if they throw something at me, I'm throwing down. I've already seen this movie anyway, you know. And my friend with me was kind of a hipster. He wasn't going to do much. He wasn't going to have my back. So it was going to be me versus three guys. And they didn't say a word the rest of the movie.
Oh, good.
So about 20 minutes later, I was just like, yeah, recognize.
Yeah, but at least you did it. At least you did it respectfully. Can you please
Yes.
be quiet? No one
Yes.
paid to hear you. At least you weren't like,
Yeah.
you guys need to shut your face. Because then you would have
Yeah.
gone out in a blaze of glory.
Yes. I remember I was watching Die Hard 5 years ago. You heard me right. Middle of the day. It was like 11 o'clock in the morning. Me, these two young kids are like in the theater, and this old couple. And these two kids didn't stop talking the whole movie. And this old man stands up. Will you shut the heck up? He didn't say heck.
Yeah,
And it was so funny, you know.
yeah.
I was like, dude, come on. I get theater etiquette, but it's Die Hard 5. Come on.
I know,
I'm
right?
watching Schindler's List here.
Yeah,
So-
but that is a great
Horrible
segue,
movie.
Gary. Yes, very. But that's a great segue, Gary, to my next point. Is don't bring your kids to I guess it's two-part. To a late movie. Most
Yes.
of us adults are going to a movie. And when I say late movie, I mean anything that starts at 8:30 and later. Don't bring your kids. Now, granted, if you have a 10-year-old, whatever. But like,
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, don't bring like your 5 and under child to a late movie where you know they're going to be cranky, you know they're going to be crying because they're tired. You ruin it for everybody. And
It's
then
bad
B,
parenting.
yeah, it's just terrible. And you ruin it for everybody. And then B, don't bring your kids to a movie they shouldn't be watching.
Yep.
I mean, like for instance, Katie and I, when we went to go see A Quiet Place, some
Hmm.
family brought in their like 2 and 3-year-old to watch A Quiet Place. Are
No,
you
you don't do
kidding
that.
me?
You
And
don't do
especially
it.
a movie like A Quiet Place.
Yeah, you don't do that. No.
It's just like,
Yeah.
that one drove me
Yeah.
nuts.
Yep. I remember when I went to see the first Avengers, there were people there with their infants. And like it was like open tonight. And I realized you do what you gotta do, but can you imagine being an infant looking at around all these strangers in a giant rectangle thing with
Yeah.
crazy images? I mean, that had to be terrifying, you know?
Oh yeah.
And
Oh
in those
listen.
situations, I'll be honest with you, I ain't mad at the kids. It ain't
Oh
their
no.
fault.
No. I will say,
know?
Katie and I were the parents maybe 2 or 3 times where we brought the infant, but it was like infant like all wrapped up. And
Oh,
like
that's different.
and we
Yeah.
tried and we tried. All right, we tried to
Yeah.
do it like nap time, and then
Yeah.
like halfway through the movie, because Katie breastfed, so like halfway through the movie she could do what she had to do in the wrap,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and then just back to sleep. So we try to time it perfectly.
So
And,
that's good.
and
Yeah.
it was pretty okay because it was a we don't have family, we don't have a babysitter, we got to do what we got to do.
Gotta do what you gotta do. I get
But
that.
again, but it was also they were infants, so like
Infant.
it wasn't like
Yeah.
they were gonna be like
Yeah.
like again like toddler. That's the problem. The toddlers are
Yes,
the problem.
toddler.
That,
Yeah,
I think that's
the,
just
the issue I have. Yes, you do what you gotta do, but like if the infant is in distress or they're upset,
oh get out. Yeah.
yes, I've seen where they do not. You know,
Mm.
and it's just like, come on, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
do
Katie
what you
had to
gotta
do
do.
that. She had to get out. Like she was just like, I got to get out of here. I'll be right back if I can. And I was like, there was like one time or maybe twice, I was just sitting there. I was like, well, it's just me enjoying the movie, hoping they come back.
Yeah.
And then I do remember one time though, she had to text me. There's no calming her. We have to leave. And I was like, movie's got 10 minutes, please. And she's like, okay. So I got to finish the movie.
Yeah, I just see you like,
But,
hope my family's okay. But I gotta see how this ends up. I get it, you know. There was one time Meg and I went to see a movie. I know we got to wrap up, and she got
Yeah.
sick in the middle of the movie. It had just started, and she's texting me from the lobby. And she literally said this. She said, "I'm gonna sit in the lobby. You finish the movie." No, the movie had just started. It was like 2 hours. I was
man.
like, and she was like, "Why didn't you just watch the movie?" I was like, "That's not, I'm gonna do that."
Yeah. That's a little different from like 10
worst
minutes
husband
left.
ever. You stay in the lobby, sick, throwing up. I think she might have been pregnant. I don't know. And I was like, I'm gonna finish watching this. I don't even remember what movie it was.
2 hours later. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
know.
couldn't do it either.
How you
I would've
feeling?
just-
Should have seen the end of this movie. It was so great.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about it on the way home.
Yeah, that's like Katie and I. We
Yeah.
tried to. I think it was last year. Well, it had to be last year, obviously. But last year
Yeah.
we tried to go. I can't remember. We tried to watch some Keanu Reeves movie because it was the only thing out. It was like someone about a robot or something. It actually looked kind of silly, but it was the only thing out that we hadn't seen. So we went to go see it. We get down. Katie just gets super sick. Literally, like the previews were going, and the opening scene, she's like, "I have to leave. I just feel terrible." So we left, and then we walked down. I was like, "Hey, listen, like the movie literally just started. She's super sick. Is there any way we can get a voucher to like come back another day or something?" Like, "Oh, we'll just refund you. No big deal." And then walk out, and
cool.
it was fine. Like, and that's
Yeah.
the thing. If
That's what they did
people
for
would
us
just-
too.
Yeah, if you just communicate what's going on, they understand. And
Yeah.
and thing is, they'll either give you a movie voucher to come back another day, or they'll refund you. Not
Yep.
a big deal, you know.
Not a big deal. Yep. So, like I said, and what's sad is I don't feel like these are unreasonable etiquette rules within the theater or whatever. It's just normal things,
Yep. Just normal things. Make
courteous
it
of the
easy
people
for
around
everyone. Listen, people get angry. I've heard people cuss out people in the movie theater. I've heard people threaten violence. We can
Yeah,
avoid
yeah.
all that by just
yeah.
behaving. It's not that hard.
Just behave.
Listen, if you
Yeah.
want to have a conversation and joke and have fun,
Yeah.
go to TGI Fridays. You don't need to come to
TGI
the
Fridays. TGI Fridays. Yeah.
theater. It's in my head now that we said we need to go
yeah.
there. So
Yes, it's happening soon. And one last thing. If you do have to say something to someone, be polite. Two wrongs
Yes.
don't make a right.
Yes.
You yelling at someone doesn't help.
or throwing
just makes
popcorn or candy
makes it worse.
and hitting the
Yeah.
wrong person. There's just no need.
Yeah. Don't want to do that.
Now, if you're throwing it at your friends, that's fine. But don't do it
That's
with people
fine.
you don't know.
That's another thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm totally okay if popcorn's flying, but you're hitting your friends. Okay, fine. But just
Yeah.
don't do it the whole movie. And choose
No,
the time
no.
wisely.
choose the time wisely. Yep. So,
Yeah.
Well, that's our show, folks. Thanks for watching. Maybe there's some stuff we forgot to talk about when it comes to theater. Comment below. Let us know your thoughts and maybe some experiences that you've had with these situations. We'd love to hear from you, the viewers.
Yes. What are some of your pet peeves? What are some of the things that you do that gets on other people's nerves? That'd be funny.
Oh
And
yes, it would be.
just let know. Don't forget to subscribe, as he said. Turn on the bell.
Ding.
Kid reviews are coming this weekend. A new element
Yes,
that we're adding since we both
that'd be
have
cool.
kids. It will
Yes.
be fun. So that'll be coming this weekend. Look out for that. And we're going to be trying something new where we do these live shows every Friday at 1 p.m.
1
We will
p.m.
also be divvying it up to where if you want to just watch the news side, there will be a separate video in the news section. If you want to watch just the fun stuff we talked about, like grind our gears, we'll have that in a separate video as well. So we'll have it live all together and we'll have it separate so you guys can watch whichever parts you would like to watch.
Yep. Make it
So,
convenient for you, the
yes,
viewers.
we are
Giving the
learning.
show
We are.
back to you. Sorry.
Yeah, I love it. No, Bane was all over this episode, and I'm okay
I know,
with it.
right? I know. Oh man.
So,
So
thank you
well,
guys for joining us. We will
have a
see
great
you
weekend,
soon.
everybody.
Have a good weekend. See you.